Guys, in this quick video, I want to address a question that I've been asked a lot. I think it's a valid question. I think that we should address it, and it's probably overdue. I want to talk about concrete. Should you still, it is, what is it? Ending of September 2025. We've been harping on concrete. Should you still go into concrete? Basically almost 2026. By the time some of you guys are seeing this, it'll be 2026. Do I still recommend it? Would I still go into it? I'm going to cover that in this video, okay? Now, for those few people that don't know what I'm talking about, when we're saying, should I go into concrete? I'm not saying, should you go start a concrete company? I'm saying, should you go into concrete for digital real estate, to build websites, rank them on Google, and rent them out to local business owners? For a little bit of context, this is a niche that I've been talking about for 3 years, and I've been using it as the example every single video because it's an easy niche to understand. Everybody needs concrete, and I've made a lot of money in concrete, a lot of money. So let's get into it. Number one thing I want to say is that there are still students of mine, including my little brother Porter, that are getting deals in concrete to this day. Literally in the last 2 weeks, I've seen people get deals in concrete. Okay, that's the truth, that's the reality, and there you go. Okay, so there are still deals to be had, and I've been saying that for a long time. If you guys look hard enough, there's still deals to be had. Now, in that same breath, I do want to mention, and you guys could probably figure this out on your own, that in order to find those deals, it is going to take substantially more work and more effort than it did 3 years ago. Why? Because there's more people that are doing this business model. There's more people that are looking specifically at concrete within this business model. And that's just the nature of the beast, right? When I first started doing this back in 2016, tree service was what everyone was talking about, and towing. And guess what? By the time I finally got around to some of those niches, I was like, dude, I'm running into, marketers and lead generators in every city, it felt like, and I probably was. So remember that you are going to see more people, okay? It's going to be harder to get deals. Also keep in mind that just because you see a marketer or you see another lead generation website does not mean that you can't go into it. I've said that many, many times. And what do I mean by that? Well, just treat it like another competitor, right? If you didn't know what a lead generator looked like or a lead generation website looked like, just look at the website for what it's worth. Look at its backlinks. Look at the age of the domain. Look at the content. And is it showing up for every single search terms consistently? And if you didn't know that that was a lead generator, would that even influence your decision? Because sometimes we look at these cities and it's a lead generator and we get spooked and, oh my gosh, we're too late. That's not the case. Now, all of that said, if you were to ask me this question, Nick, 2025, almost 2026, would you still target concrete? And I'm thinking about me from my own agency perspective. The answer is no. Okay. And I say that very confidently because it's been a long time since we've tried to target concrete. Have we gotten a deal from a site that we used to have a client for that we lost that now yeah, of course. Have we had a referral of somebody that does? Yes, of course. But to sit down with a map of the United States, because that's the country that I target, because that's where I live, and say, hey, I'm going to go find a concrete deal, not something I'm going to do. Are there deals to be had? As I said, yes. But I want personally to be able to go into a niche that I can do again and again and again and again and get 3, 4, 5, potentially 10 deals inside of that niche. I don't want to go and look through 100 cities to find one. And now I know everything about concrete, but now I got to switch industries. Does that make sense? So for me, I'm not targeting concrete. I wouldn't recommend you guys targeting concrete. Now, there is a slight caveat to that because I believe that if you're looking for your first deal, money loves speed, and the best thing to do is go get the quickest deal. So let's just say you're somebody and you have a family member, you have a friend, you have a cousin, you have a contact that does concrete in a specific city or in a state that covers multiple cities. In that particular situation, because of the speed element and what the first deal does for you and your confidence and your excitement and your belief in the business model, I would say in that situation, yes, go into concrete. Okay. But for the rest of you guys that are like me, that I don't have people that are in concrete, I don't have friends, family, cousins, aunts, uncles. I'm just starting from with a blank canvas. Concrete is not what I would focus on. Are there still deals? Yes. But going and thinking that you're going to rip 20 deals, which you probably, if you looked at enough cities, you probably could find 20 deals. Let me actually say that. But you're going to have to look at 500 cities to find those 20 deals. And for me, it's like we're kind of the point now where I would rather go after fencing or tree service or, one of 1,000 or 20,000 other niches that are out there. And that's the reality, okay? So, is the business model saturated? No. No. Is this particular niche saturated? It's much more saturated than it was 3 years ago, and I think we're finally getting to the point where I'm personally not recommending people go and target concrete unless you have that connection. Outside of that, I would go into something else because guess what? Money is money is money, and Jack's money spends the same as Jill's money, and Jack that owns the concrete company and Jill that owns the tree service company, that money all spends the same at the grocery store where I buy my groceries for my kids. And that is that, guys. That's my opinion for what it's worth. I'll see you guys in the next video.